They've been struggling to shoot the ball lately. Fred, what was the plan? Like, I assume Andre Wesson hitting 3 threes in the first 4 minutes was not something that you thought would happen in the scouting report.
Well, I thought our defensive energy was actually pretty good out of the gate. We built that 4-0 lead in the first 3.5 minutes. I thought we were in there shrunk and got a couple deflections and created a couple turnovers. Wesson hits those 3 threes. Those were huge, and I thought we did a solid job of contesting. Our game plan was to try to sit in as much as possible on Caleb and try to force them to shoot the ball from the outside, and they made us pay early in the game by hitting those 3 threes. The back-to-back threes they hit before halftime to build the 13-point lead. That one Arns hit was huge. It gave them a lot of momentum going into the break up 13 as opposed to maybe having that thing in single digits. There was key stretches in that game when Cam picked up his 4th. I think they went into 12-0 run very shortly after that to build the lead up to 25. I thought offensively in the first half of that game, the ball was not getting side to side, and we were trying to go in and shoot over length, and you can't do that. We've had multiple times now where we tried to drive and shoot over size, and it's not something we can simulate in practice. Obviously, we don't have that, so you have to be selective. You have to be willing to drive in there to make a play for a teammate. Second half, we did that. The ball was moving, it was hopping, it was getting side to side. We were creating driving lanes, and we had great spacing. And you go from shooting 31% in the first half to 55% in the second half. And when you have those empty possessions where you get your shot blocked or they create a turnover, that's what gets them out in transition and gets them confident. So it's something we got to correct. We got to do better of playing 2 halves. The same thing happened at Northwestern the other night, where we dug ourselves a double-digit lead at halftime, and gave ourselves a chance because our defensive energy picked up, and we held them to 26%. Tonight, when we were making our run, we were just trading baskets, and Ohio State shoots 54% in the second half, and you're not going to dig into a lead. And when you shoot 55% overall for the game, you're not going to give yourself a chance to win on the road.
When you're preparing for a team and you find out like an hour or 2 before the game that they're going to be without 2 of their rotation players, how does that change your prepreparation, if at all? Are there things that you're trying to do in the last hour leading into the game when suddenly the team doesn't have some guys you've been preparing for? How does that change your prep?
That didn't change our game plan. It's something where, again, we had to sit in and try to take away the paint on Wesson. And, when Andre Wesson hit those threes, I thought it did get us spread out a little bit more. And, again, when you don't get back in transition and get loaded to the ball early in the possession, that's where they hurt you. They're just too big and strong, and the high-low game that they went to, we weren't in there quite far enough off the corners because, again, we were worried about the 3-point shot that they were hitting early. But we felt that was our chance in this game, was to sit in there and hopefully close out to their shooters. We missed a couple of rotations, especially on the side of 2. The low man on the side of 2, when he's in there helping, you got to X out to that corner from the top guy, and we didn't get there quickly enough on a couple of those shots.
When you prepare for Ohio State, you were talking about Caleb there a second ago, but what stands out about C.J. Walker? What is it? He obviously had a decent scoring night for them tonight, but what do you prepare for when you're going up against him?
Yeah, quickness. Yeah, I thought closeouts, as far as closing out to contain early, we didn't do a great job with that. They drove by us and got into the paint. Again, that's what created some of those kick out shots as well, or dump offs to their bigs. But they give Ohio State credit. They've had 4 tough games. We knew they were going to come out with great urgency and energy tonight, and they did that. And Chris is doing a phenomenal job here. And these guys, it's a tough preparation because of the big guy inside and everything around him, and plus their 4-man. I mean, we're obviously playing undersized out there, and they were going to the 5 in the paint and the 4, and we had to get there quicker on our double teams. And again, our rotations weren't as crisp as they needed to be.
Coach, I don't know how much of the last 4 games of Ohio State that you actually saw them play, but what was the biggest difference for you in how the team played tonight versus how they might have played during that losing streak?
Well, obviously, things look a lot better when that ball goes through the hoop, and they shot the heck out of it today. And again, their bigs draw so much attention down there. For a team like us, we have to have perfect rotations, and we didn't have that throughout the game. We had some decent possessions, but not enough of them. And for us, we got to have 40 minutes of intense play on that defensive end. And again, we got to be more consistent with that. As far as Ohio State, they were a confident team tonight. And this is something where you go through stretches where you don't shoot the ball as well as you'd like. But when this team knocks down shots, they're going to be tough to beat. Thank you, guys.